Greetings everyone, Agion here with another Dawn of War 2 replay. Spawn on the top left side as the Tyranid Lictor Alpha, we have Floid. Floid. And spawn his opponent as the this is the hero. Down here. As the Warlock, we have Ruthless at heart. You have first a Dire Avenger squad into a Howling Banshee squad. We have two Hormagaunts for the Tyranid player, as well as now a Termagant. So we do have the two basic squads for both sides, and as well as the alternative. Dire Avengers, of course, range. Hormagaunts are melee. Hormagaunts are range. Howling Banshees are melee. It's an inverse matchup, per se. We have the locking down of the our node, as well as for the Tyranid player. You have the first combat coming in. Looks like the Dire Avengers will manage to get some free early damage. Lictor Alpha is stealthing on forward. It's going to engage these Dire Avengers in melee, but does spot the Howling Banshee. Decides to, 3 squads is probably a bit too much at this moment. He could potentially go ahead and go for the requisition or for the VP. It looks like he's going for the VP. Banshee is going straight for the power node. Will spot the early synapse generator. And there's also an early power generator over here as well. You have the Termagants and Hormagaunts over here. Will be engaging the Dire Avengers. Both Howling Banshees here. They're a bit outgunned. 2 squads versus 3 squads. The VP is captured by the Lictor Alpha. But we do have the Warlock capturing up the VP on his opponent's side as well. This synapse generator may in fact go down. And does go down. We got Termagants as well as a Warrior Brood now coming on forward. Collapse around. Termagants and Hormagaunts going to be engaging from the low ground. And now the Howling Banshees are going to engage the Hormagaunts, but they're going to be outgunned by the Warrior Brood. Hormagaunts over here will go ahead and get the guys in melee. The Warlock does tap the Termagants in a melee. Looks like there's going to be no squad wise with mass retreat coming out by the Eldari. Now the Warrior Brood will lock down the Warlock no problem. The Eye going around capturing does rebuild the generator. The power node itself does get some damage. Which can the Tyranid player actually repair that? Because I don't think Termagants nor Hormagaunts have the repair ability. They do, that's a bit strange. I think it's biological. Mass capturing out by the Tyranid player, going for this power point, the requisition point, and pretty much reclaim the land that Eldari has secured. This point was not locked down. You do got a Ranger squad here, as well as a Guardian weapon team. So both sides going to be heavy initial units. We do got a Ravener Brood coming out as well. So both sides are going to have a significant amount of bleed, but they should be able to stockpile a bit of energy for everything else. Dire Avenger squads will force back the Hormagaunts, but they're actually not doing a full retreat, they're just doing a soft retreat. Now, Center Lictor Alpha yanks the Warlock. The Warlock's going to need to fall back sooner rather than later. The Guardian weapon team will suppress the Lictor Alpha as well as the Hormagaunts. Warrior Brood may want to eye for some melee. These Dire Avengers, they're just way outgunned. They are doing a soft retreat now. Nice dodge with the plasma. Didn't actually capture the point, but the soft retreat's actually quite important to just help prevent him from losing map control. The Guardian's weapon team has moved very far forward. Howling Banshee's ready to flank and support. Rangers sitting on up, so there's going to be a significant amount of suppression here. Though the Ravener Brood does come up around the Devastator, not Devastator, Guardian. Banshees do suppress the whole group, but now forced to fall back. Swiftfoot was activated for the Rangers, trying to do a soft retreat. Lictor Alpha hunting down these Dire Avengers. The Ranger squad did drop a model. Setting on up is still spotted. There's a Hormigaunt may in fact go down. It's down to 8 health, but appears to manage to survive. Dire Avengers force them back. Rangers are here. And the Warlock does retreat as well. Short retreat time, so you should be able to get back in the game quite quickly. The Termagants have been upgraded with the Toxin Sacks. And now we do have a pretty sizable retreat coming out by a D-tiered player. Push too far forward. Lictor Alpha will decapture the requisition point, no problem. Dire Avengers over here that's a lot of damage coming out on those Hormiguns. Ranger may be able to get no, the Hormiguns, the Ranger actually engaging the Lictor Alpha. The Hormiguns do not go down, though they were relatively close. Guardian's weapon team is going to eye for some of this heavy cover and a good defensive point. Down south we do got the Hormiguns capturing up the bottom power node. Both players still at tier 1. I think both players are going to be eyeing to pick up relatively soon based on their stockpile resources. And overall, the suppression is being quite important for the Eldar player. He is trying to siege these power generators. It seems a little bit flashy, I don't know why. I guess since they're shooting up ground and hitting stuff around it, rather than trying to hit the ground, so it just seems a little bit more flashy. Does get one of the power generators right there. Guardian's weapon team very far forward. Lictor Alpha could grab the gun itself. And will tie up the squad in melee. Howling Banshees are here, but will give the units enough time to advance forward. Lictor Alpha is very close to going down. Plasma grenade! Both of them! Did he lose a squad? He lost Lictor Alpha. I just know there's a huge amount of damage. It does do a pretty early retreat. That was just quite a bit of damage there. Seen this two Hormigons, the Temagon, the Warrior, and Ravener Brood. So it looks like only the Lictor Alpha himself goes down. The Dire Avengers and Howling Banshees retreats quite early. Still pretty healthy, so a little bit unusual call to fall back early, but did a huge amount of damage. But these, ooh, the Warlock is here. May get the kill on these Hormigons. Just only one model left, and doesn't get the kill. Tier 2 on the way for both players. Sniper getting a good hit. Two Dire Avenger squads here, and the Rangers are luring them into a line of fire. We'll get some good free damage right there. Warlock is the capturing the requisition point. We do have something to call on it. It's a capillary power. Guardian weapon team is here, and these guys are falling back behind it, but the Raveners do pop up underneath beneath the Guardian's team, forcing a mass withdrawal. So the Lictor Alpha has been called back forth. have a heavy melee warp throw item being brought up for the Warlock himself. Lictor Alpha appears not to have any sort of upgrades just yet. Now let's get a nice special attack there, knocking back the Lictor Alpha. The upgrades to the Warlock is going to force back the Lictor Alpha. That damage over time from the Flaming Sword, whatever it's actually. Did it replace his Flaming Sword? I guess it replaces his Flaming Sword. Got the Warlock withdrawing now. Warlock is going to sustain some more damage. It's not going to get the squad wipe though. Where's that guarding weapons team? Still over here. And actually, one of the Horrigons went down in one of those engagements. Perhaps that one health under the model guy we saw earlier. Horrigons getting hit by the Dire Avengers with the low ground. We do got the Archtar kids coming on in. Is that how you pronounce it? Archtar? Autar? A lot of names I just don't really know how to pronounce. We do have like a secondary hero, like commando unit now available for the Eldari player. Another power generator is going to be hit. The previous one was not replaced. The unit player is just pretty low in requisition, so the unit player should focus on the requisition points. Lictor Alpha has been upgraded with pheromones. Allows allied infantry to reinforce. Jeez! The hero is now a 4 reinforcement point. That is quite significant. Our weapon team needs to set on up. Warlock has been grabbed. Is going to get. It's very close going down, but it's not. Both plasma grenades were thrown, which will ward away the units on the Warlock. Guardian's weapon team is here. Ravener is going to be jumping on in. Let's jump on in. And forcing a max control. The Raveners are the biggest problem right now for the Eldari player because he's able to remove one of his key assets, the suppression team. In which we're going to have a second Guardian weapon team. And jump both of them. Just only jump one of them. The Eldari player now has a 7th unit out on the field, or 8th unit for Warlock. So the tier 2 player is way outnumbered. He needs to focus on requisition. I don't think he's been able to really utilize tier 2 other than for a handful of upgrades. The Arctarch will get hit by the Lictor Alpha. It appears that the Arctarch has been upgraded with the damage increase weapon. Not actually doing any hits there, trying to decapture the point, but it does jump away. Guardian's weapon team has been set on up. Lictor Alpha does stealth. Now we have the Warrior Brew being upgraded with anti-vehicle melee weapons, which could be a good thing, but his opponent's not going for a vehicle yet. Heavy cover is being deployed on Alf, very nice. Curious if they add in like the Order of Malleus, like the Brother Captains, Grey Knights, into as a part of the Space Marine lineup, they could potentially add the Drakarian as the Eldari lineup. But you got the Howling Banshees engaging. Does get forced back by a nice special attack there. They're going to be outgunned and outnumbered, and they will be forced back. The Archtarch is here. The Warlock is here. Ripper's going to be tying up units in melee. The Ranger's trying to suppress these units. The Lictor Alpha gets the knocked down once again. The Warrior Brew needs to fall back. They're a little bit out of position. Termagants are engaging as well as the Ravagers onto the Guardian's weapon team. The Ravagers need to engage in melee. Hormagaunts are going to be engaged in melee. Or Force Back is taking too much damage. I think the Lictor Alpha has already been called back in, so he's going to pay like the full price for it. So there goes more requisition. In fact, a lot of his units are super wounded, though they seem a lot of models here, but we'll take some time in order to reinforce them all and heal them up. The LDR player's in a great position and actually upgraded to tier 3. Warlock is forced back by Lictor Alpha. He doesn't appear to be fully healed. Has reinforced all of his squads, but just needs more healing. Ravagers jumped on in, will tie up the Guardian. Warrior Brood jumping in on the Guardian, though there's a second Guardian weapon team here, and the Ravagers are suppressed. So Alpha will do a nice flank, forcing back the Guardian's weapon team. He's a chain of flanks, and picking out units one by one is the reason why divide and conquer is not exactly super great. Divide and conquer is a term for dividing your opponent and then conquering them individually, not divide your forces and conquer. H is trying to run on forward, but it won't be super successful. This requisition point is actually quite important for the Tyranid player. The VP is being harassed once again by the Archtar. If he were to just keep some units on the low ground, knowing the Archtar is going to jump over, he can potentially get the round. Lictor Alpha, however, is going to receive fire from 2 squads. Does get a nice knockback there somehow. Ability looks like more of the spellcaster abilities are coming on out. The Immolator. Most of the Warp Thrower and the Immolator just or stacked up with some other thing for. Your player does have a significant amount of requisition right now. He could tech up. I think he has enough to tech up. What is the Ari player going for? Probably going for a Fire Prism, maybe for Avatar Cave, but the Avatar Cave seems a little less likely to me. And these Hormagaunts are now forced back. There's a capillary tower right here. Nice plasma grenades. We'll get a couple models there. Capillary tower is under siege. We got the Tyrant Guard being brought on in, as well as a Fire Prism. ADCS will receive some fire, but they have the requisition point. And requisition has been quite problematic for the Tyranid player for quite some time. We have a Tyrant Guard out, which is a very resilient unit to say the least.
We have 200 points remaining.
We do have the Ranger Squad still here. And oh god, the models over there. And we have the Ravagers pushing forward, but does get caught by the rear Guardian's weapons team. Oshtark now engaging the Ravager in melee. Warrior Brood is still here, as well as the Tyrant Guard. Tyrant Guard was stating most abuse. Avatar Arcane, looks like the Fire Prism was cancelled. Now we do have the Avatar Arcane on the build queue. And honestly, the Avatar Arcane is probably the weakest of all the super units. It does deny the capture right there. The Lictor Alpha may still in fact go down. Archtark and the Warlock does jump forward, but the Lictor Alpha will actually escape. It's a lack of a handgun actually providing boon for the Tyranid player. Warrior Brood is seeing quite a bit of fire. The Tyrant Guard needs a push on forward. Tyrant Guard is very resilient, has really high health. One of the models just decided just to run forward. Warrior Brood needs to fall back. He can reinforce from the Lictor, but can't reinforce if he's dead. Guardian's weapon team is currently set on up. Ravagers actually jumped in on the Dire Avenger, so he would not be able to rush down the Guardian's weapon team. But here, the highest guard is more of a vehicle unit, so it doesn't receive suppression. Now the Avatar Arcade is now out. Multiple hits. The Tyrant Guard cannot use the retreat function, so he's getting body blocked by the Dire Avengers. Oh, he sort of stopped body blocking it. Flare Tower is here. We do have an assault coming out, but the Avatar Arcade has also a spellcaster. It will do some significant amount of damage. Has the access to like a big cone effect, as well as a circle effect around them. Only Banshee's getting caught out now. If they need a withdrawal, or maybe not, they actually will manage to cover it. Arshark jumps on in, knocking down the Ravager Brood as the Termagants. Looks like the Hormagaunt, the Termagant unit and Hormagaunt is still alive. And we got a pretty sizable retreat. I don't see how the unit player can come back. He needs something heavy to engage the Avatar Arcane. So a card effect. He does have tier 3. Saving up for something expensive to say the least. And the Lictor Alpha is going around capturing, which is probably the best thing he could do. He needs resources. Tyrant Guard is just sitting here taking damage. And the Tyrant Guard's like, oh, I'm getting shot at. Bothers to do withdrawal. He has quite a bit of forces here. He's saving up for the card. Oh, no, he's going for the Neothrope. I wonder how that's going to play out. I don't think I've actually seen one of these deployed when I'm casting, so this would be a bit of a first for me. Oh! Eldritch Storm! Oh! Oh! That was nasty! It killed everything! Even when you had back at home, you didn't make sure your units are not stacked up like that. Tyrant Guard and the Neurothrope are out. These base defenses can do a bit more damage versus armor. But, oh, God. That was not sportsmanlike, I would say. That was nasty. Tyrant Guard needs withdrawal. Tyrant Guard is not withdrawing. And it goes down. Uses his own nuke ability there, which I didn't really take a good look at it, which forced back both the Dire Avengers. Look, the Alphas here, but he's going to have trouble versus the Howling Banshees. I'm just still in shock over that Eldritch Storm. That literally annihilated everything except for the Tyrant Guard and the Warrior Brood. The Ravengers, Hormagaunts, and Termagants all nuked to oblivion. To the warp. It's the Eldritch Storm, so it's definitely to the warp. Yeah, calls in the GG. I think he's just like, that was just... bad. You guys are rapidly counting down. The Eldari players definitely won. But, oh god. There's a reason why the calling in the orbital off-map abilities in Company Heroes 2 is removed. I'm not sure if they can, the elite mod could stop that, able to not call in abilities, because it also may affect your call in infantry, but perhaps at least for the nuking abilities, they should be able to be called into a base sector. But yeah. This is Agion saying thank you for watching and signing off.